and we are ready to go. So it is 5:30. Good evening. Good Friday to you. We are going to go ahead and just go ahead and get started. We've had a heck of a fun run just these last 15 minutes, just talking about getting ready for this show, and super excited to have both of our guests this evening, which I think you're going to benefit a ton from. But we first of all want to welcome our bro host as usual. That would be Mr. Chris Cruz. And I think Mrs. Atlas might be around too. Is she going to make it?
Yeah, come on. Hey, Elsa.
Yeah.
There, you're being.
I'm being summoned for what?
You're being summoned because you're about ready to get on and, wave your little hand to everybody.
This is how I summon her.
So we have Mrs. Atlas Porter, Mrs. Atlas. That's okay. That's all good. And so this, as you can tell, is probably going to be a little spicier than normal. And yes, we are live, Elsa. So we got you all on camera and you are recorded. So that is the most beautiful part of this whole thing. Oh, are you doing a lat spread for us? It's a pretty good lat spread. There it is. And of course, we do have Mr. Dan Olson, who is our Florida director and also Miami Classic promoter. So welcome, Mr. Dan Olson.
Thank you, Matt. Chris, good to see you guys.
You too as well. We're going to have a little bit of a delay, and that's okay. So we didn't forget about you, but we want to really just get to know you because you have a really interesting story. And it's one that I found really cool. I have to tell you personally, I met Dan last year when we went out to the Gator Classic and we flew out to Orlando, and Dan was a head judge, a scorekeeper, a director, every possible thing you can think of, and is someone who immediately struck me as someone who really is just, a down-to-earth, authentic guy, knows what he's doing, has a passion for what we do. But what I've also noticed in getting to know him is he did not start really truly in a fitness background. And now he is one of our more coveted directors. So Dan, as far as, really how you started, I know you're not from Florida. Tell us a little bit about you and really what you did before GBO.
Oh boy. I grew up as about as redneck farm boy as you can. I was scrawny, skinny little kid. But I did wrestle and play football and track and stuff. But, small school. Wasn't until I got into college when I started lifting weights. And I thought, that's what I want to do. I want to lift weights and I want to get big and be a bodybuilder. Well, never got big, but that was that. But I did compete. We're talking late 80s, early 90s. Kind of bounced around, did okay. But I found I enjoyed helping others and coaching more. Kind of took a back seat for a little while when my son was born and raised some kids for a while, and then jumped back into it in the early 2000s and started judging, started helping with promoters, and even did a little expediting and even in the national level judging. So kind of worked my way up from the very bottom, competing first show into barely placing, like 5 out of 5 and nice. To get some trophies. But long time ago. But like I say, I've enjoyed helping people more. I think I get more kick out of watching athletes make gains, make progress, and achieve their goals too. So that's kind of where my niche was.
So you're not from Florida. Where are you originally from?
I grew up in Linden, Washington, the complete opposite corner from where I'm at now. Moved over to Spokane, Washington. I went to college there. And after college, I started a summer job, which is pretty cool, but it turned out to be, I was there almost 30 years.
Oh, wow. And so when did you move to Florida?
Yeah. It'd be 2 years, February.
Okay.
I started coming down here about 5 years ago on business and kind of got hooked and liked it and gave me an offer I couldn't refuse.
Nice. Now, how did you get involved with GBO? You mentioned you competed for a little bit. You mentioned you were in Washington, then you moved to Florida. How did you get involved with GBO and when? What year?
Boy, right when they started, the end of 2015, and up in Spokane, there was a very dear friend of mine who actually kind of knew of Bob over the years. A good friend of mine knew Bob, so that we had that kind of connection. And when I heard about the GBO and what they were all about, we had I don't remember, it was April of 2016. It was like the best of the West. So GBO had one of their first show. I think it was second or third show that GBO put on. And I jumped right into head judge and co-promoted that with my old buddy, Brad.
Very cool. Very cool. So you have your first show coming up in Miami. And I know you're talking about other cities too, so I won't spoil that. What would you have the date set, you're ready to go. I know you've been making plans. You've had safety meetings with Gus. Gus came in from Puerto Rico, met with you. Tell us a little bit about what the progress is and what's going on for the Miami Classic.
Oh boy, I feel like a racehorse kind of getting loaded in the gate at the Kentucky Derby and waiting for that gate to open up. Been working on this for a long time, and of course, thanks to this Corona thing, it set me back. Well, the hell, been holding off for what, 3 months now, 2 months. So we got a lot of stuff getting ready to launch. Couple final decisions that we got to make with the team tomorrow over in Miami, and man, it's the floodgates are going to open. It's got to be like I say, the Kentucky Derby. It's going to be a race to get everything going and done. We are still planning at the DoubleTree Hilton Event Center. Really nice place, August 22nd. So we're still on track. Like I say, we've got some final things to clear up and finish up, but hopefully we can get that done tomorrow.
Very good. Now you're going to be following Stephanie's show. Stephanie's is in Georgia on August 15th. You are August 22nd. And I think you have a poster right behind you of your show. Is that correct?
Yes, I do.
Nice.
Yes, I do. And actually, we just got a bunch of flyers and stuff made. So I'm going to put a bunch of them in the mail and mail them out so that Stephanie will have some ready to go. I will also go up and participate in Stephanie's show, as well as her coming back down and helping with the Miami. But family, talk about family. There's some good support from everywhere. All you guys and just the encouragement while we're waiting for these little things to finish up, because there's things that should have been done 12 weeks ago that I haven't done yet because of our nice big Corona thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Hey,
Well, yes,
Dan.
It's all going to come crashing out.
Hey, Dan, I have a question, buddy. So I've been Miami many years in a row now with clients for nationals and all that. I unfortunately have not been on the Washington side. So what would you say is the biggest difference between, I guess, competitors out there, but from Washington to Miami? Like, is it way more? There's a lot more of a bodybuilding community in Miami than in Washington.
Well, see, with Seattle right there, they have a show over there that's as big as Miami. When I was judging over there was 300-400 competitors. It was a 2-day event. Now it's only amateurs.
Is that the Emerald Show?
And they were coming from all over. Yeah, that's the Emerald Cup.
Yeah,
the Emerald Cup was it got big. I even competed in the Emerald Cup a few times. So that show is equivalent to any almost national show in Miami too.
no, wow.
So what would you say is
very
really
comparable, I would say.
Got it. What is really different about your show? Because I know you brought on transformation. What are some of the things that you're really excited about for your show? Because we know that you offer the normal, bodybuilding, beach body, shape, figure. Tell us about transformation, because that seems you have people from all over the country contacting you.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's actually overwhelming, and to not have it would be silly. And we're even trying to figure out, talking with Stephanie and Gus and Sam, and even coming up with a criteria for it, because it's more than just, okay, I lost 100 pounds. It's been life-changing. It's involving coaches and family and whatnot. And that's kind of what I want to present and basically establish as far as criteria, so that athlete, because nobody does it alone. There's some kind of support, somewhere along the way. You got to have support.
Yes,
and
you're right. And
the feedback I've gotten with that kind of train of thought has been really good.
Good. You've got some great pros over in Florida too. I know that Darren Barnes is loving this, because he just says this is great for GBO Florida. We've already had many pros come out of Florida, like Sandra and Mariel Silva. You've had Chris Cable, who I know is coming to compete over in Texas in October. You've got Jeanette Feliciano, who is a natural pro out of Florida, and I think she is going to be bringing transformation clients to your show as well, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Good.
Yep.
Who are some of the other coaches?
It's going to be a battle. In fact, it'll probably be a big. What's that?
Go ahead.
No, what was that question?
I was wondering who your other coaches were. I know Jeanette has posted a lot about the clients that she's bringing to your show. Who are some of the other GBO coaches, pros that are going to be involved in the Miami Classic?
Oh, well, shoot, you got GBO pro Stephanie McNeil. She's going to bring some down, also some transformation. GBO pro Brandy LeBlanc. I think she's going to bring a bus. I'm not sure, but that's exciting. She's put together some kind of competition, so somebody's going to actually win a trip. That's exciting. That's good stuff.
Good.
I think that's almost sounds like the biggest part of our show now is that transformation.
Yes.
So I do want to hurry up and get some kind of criteria and some rules out, so that they know what to expect and everybody's clear, and we can really enjoy, and the athletes and the coaches and the family all can have a really good time with it.
The good news is you already have criteria. You just didn't know. There was a transformation show that was run last year, and Todd Rogers is going to get that to you. So hopefully that takes something off your plate.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And yes, and we talked about it, but I think I'm adding more to it.
Oh, very good. Very good. Now you also have Sam down in Miami, correct?
Yes.
Good. And then is that the shirt, Team Pro, is it Pro Body Tech?
Yep. Team Pro Body Tech. He's got he's got a phenomenal gym. It's Empire.
Good.
But I can't say enough about it. I go to that gym and it's just overwhelming. The clientele he has, the staff he has. We meet people for the first time, and you just feel like you know them already. So
yes. And I know that we have a lot of GBO Florida guys on right now. And I know that, someone who really gets a lot of praise, just for the things that he does very generously is really Gustavo Santiago. Tell us a little bit about the role that he's in, because I think he's just an amazing addition. Generously gives his time to help making our posters for each show every week. You are officially our episode 10. So we've been doing this now for 2.5 months. And I know he lives in Puerto Rico. So we have people from all over other countries even coming to help out. What does Gustavo mean to you?
Oh man, what he's really been a lifeline. The guy has his craftiness, his skills, his talent, just what his mind comes up with as far as designs and advertising and the marketing that he does. man, I can't thank him enough. And, shoot, I owe him huge debt of gratitude. But a brother and a good partner, and man, a great guy to have on the team. And hopefully he sticks around a long time.
Yeah, he really kind of jumped in and hit the ground running, man, with promoting some of our pros and with some of his graphics and stuff, man. Were really impressive. At first, I was like, who is this guy? Like, I don't even know who this is, just posting this stuff. And come to find out, he's working with y'all on the shows and all that. So yeah, I feel like he's a great addition to the team, not just Florida, but all of GBO. So I can't wait to meet him. So.
Yeah, I know it's funny because I met him 2 years ago. I met him 2 years ago, and he really just loves to do that stuff. I tried to get like, oh, come on, Gus. No, I like behind the scenes and whatnot, but we'll get him to come around.
And I know he probably hates us talking about him so much because he's just such a humble guy. And, he doesn't like to be in the spotlight, but he's so incredibly talented.
Yeah.
And he's got to get his definitely his due. But that is something that, we really appreciate even here in Texas. He's reached out and said, hey, what do you need? What can I help with? What can I be involved in? And he has just been tremendous in that. And Lisa Ramsey also does that as well. So you'll see that they have two different styles and looks that actually combine for the same mission. And, that's one of the reasons why we just appreciate you guys so much, no matter where, you are in the US, and, just that contribution really makes everything run smoothly. When are you planning on opening registration? Because I know you've been holding off on registration. Let's talk a little bit about when that will open, where they can find you, and really how they can get more information for the show.
We will have a website. It's the GBOMiamiClassic.net. So it'd be www.GBOMiamiClassic.net. The page is up, but it's just it still says coming soon. I'll be working with Gus either later tonight and also discussing with him tomorrow. And once we get our final decisions with Sam and the team, hopefully by the end of this weekend, early this week, we'll go ahead and open that up and get it launched.
Very good.
So,
okay. Is that the Miami Classic GBO.com or is GBO.com? Is that the best site to find?
www.GBOMiamiClassic.net.
Very good. Okay, good. And how can they follow you on Instagram? I know that you've got a few different connections, and you have GBO Florida. You've got the Miami Classic. What are those names? So someone who's watching, because we have a pretty large audience right now, what are some of the different Instagrams that they can follow for more info as well?
Oh, wow. Well, of course, my personal one, which I don't do a whole lot on, but I do some, but it's D Olson 8264. And there's, of course, my man Gus. He's the one that's helping me do the GBO Florida Instagram, the GBO Miami Classic Instagram. Oh boy, I should have wrote this down. I think it's GBO_Miami Classic. Okay. And of course, he also does the GBO_Gator Classic.
So you have
he's networking all those, and of course his Future Fitness and Future Fitness 20. So he's pretty well hooked up and got a lot of connections.
Very good. Okay, so this is the fun part of the interview. Tell us a little bit about what the weather is going to be like and what we should pack, because what we're doing in Houston is we're bringing a crew to Stephanie's show August 15th. We'll be there Thursday night and then come back Monday morning, and then we're getting right on a plane Thursday and then coming out. So tell us about the weather for the later part of August. What should we pack?
Shorts and probably a windbreaker. I don't know. The last year, August was 90 and clear. And there was the threat of the hurricane, of course, but boy, I tell you, it will be warm no matter what. 80s, 90s probably. Could be lots of rain, could be mixed rain, sun. So it's a toss up.
Very good.
Bring an umbrella, bring shorts.
Now, how close are we to South Beach from the venue? Because that's going to be the number one question. When I know that we have pros making road trips over there, and they want to know where the fun is in relation to where the venue or event will be.
The venue is really cool because if they're flying in, there is shuttle service from the airport to the hotel, and that's part of the event. And I looked it up when we were looking at all this, and I think it was a 22-minute Uber ride to South Beach.
Very cool.
So not too bad. The venue is more closer out to the airport, so more west of town, west of the city. So not too bad though.
Okay, wait, we've got a note. We might have a question here. Cruz, what you got?
Let's see. Humor light? I don't know. I don't get it. She's on those energy drinks again. Y'all gotta forgive her.
Well, I will tell you, Dan, that one of the things that we're really excited for, of course, is not only supporting you and really enjoying the time in South Florida, but really just the amount of attention and time that you're taking for your show, making sure that you're going through the things that you need to go through to put on, number one, a safe show, but one that's entertaining as well. And we're just super thrilled that the first annual Miami Classic will happen here in just a few months. And obviously, whatever you need, we'll do our best to help you, and we will all be there and celebrate that Saturday night with you. Does that sound good?
Oh yeah, boy, count on it. Because once that gate opens, buddy, emails and phone calls, I'll be hounding y'all.
We plan on it. We plan on it. We're looking forward to it. So Dan, thank you for the time tonight on a Friday night, and we will look forward to seeing you here in just in a matter of weeks at this point.
I think we're at 12 weeks. No, less than 12 weeks. 10 weeks now.
Whoa. 10 weeks.
That's crazy.
10 weeks. So enjoy the evening. Have some fun. Thank you for being on with us, and we'll look forward to being back in touch.
Thanks, Dan.
All right. Thank you. Anytime.
Later, buddy.
Mr. Chris Proctor. I know that you're waiting for this. You're itching. You want to talk a little bit about, what's going on. I know you made an announcement last week. We ended up bumping a guest for you because I think this did take priority, knowing that it was kind of anticlimactic for the athletes to hear that, the international guys couldn't come over for the Atlas. And what did you do? You actually made something for the European athletes. Tell us what's going on.
Well, I mean, to be fair to the Italian guys, hey, Dan, by the way, how you doing, fella? Can you hear me? Or was he a bit
delayed?
Behind in Florida, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Too busy laying on the beach checking out bums. That's why. Yeah, to be fair, the Italian guys they've actually come up with really good trumps on this. They messaged me a few months back saying, if lockdown keeps going the way it's going, we are looking at getting permission from the government and doing 2 shows. I got to admit, I chuckled a little bit and I thought, yeah, right, whatever, you're dreaming. But fair play to them, they've absolutely come up trump. So we're looking the 25th of October. They're going to do a show, but that's a national, so it's just for the Italian guys. That's absolutely fine. But they're looking the weekend, 14th to 15th of November, down in Lamezia, which is right down the bottom, not far from Sicily, down that way, putting the show on. I went to that show last year, and it's actually quite a nice show. It's kind of in a big glass building with a swimming pool outside, and the auditorium is kind of like in a dome bubble inside. It's a bit weird, to be fair. I mean, okay, it's going to be November, so the only people you're going to see around the pool are the Brits. You know what I mean? We'll be out there, 50 degrees, 60 degrees. But that's like our summer. We'll all be out there sunbathing. All you guys and the Italians will be looking at us going, these clowns, what are they doing? But hey, that's that's the Brits for you. So it is a good show, good standard of athletes he had as well, and I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm I'm booking my tickets, man, already. I'm sold. So I'm hoping I've thrown an invitation out there to anyone who wants to come along to inbox me. I'll give them all the details they want. They're still knocking up the actual show post. So that one that I posted the other day, it's just a generic one announcing both shows. But yeah, as soon as I get that, then I'll do another post, stick that up. But I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I didn't think we'd have a show in Europe this year, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Because Holland, we've had to shut the Holland one down as well because they're even further behind the lockdown than what we are in the UK. So there's no way the Holland show is going to happen, unfortunately. I spoke to Esther the other day and we made that decision. I spoke to Ernie in the UK. We're not looking like putting that one. It's not an official announcement yet, but the way it's going, I just can't see. We still haven't even got gyms open over here. I know you guys in America, you've all gone around and said, fuck it, come out of lockdown and we're going to do what we want. Fair play to you. I wish we could do that here because it's absolutely killing us over here. But we're still quite restricted over here, so I just cannot see it happening, unfortunately. Zuki, he's going to make an announcement. We've had a little chat here and there, but that's up to him to call, and he's still umming and ahhing a little bit, which I can understand, but we'll have to see what happens with that one. But certainly with the Atlas not being there now, at least we've got something for the guys in Italy to go over to. And it'll be a great time. It'll be a great show. It's a nice little place. Nice, nice area, really picturesque and beautiful. So I'm looking forward to going back.
Good. What countries do you see in play? I know that we don't really have a presence in Germany and Spain and Portugal just yet. I know that will be coming here soon. Have you been talking to other countries that maybe don't have a GBO presence right now, but maybe a PCA presence that want to come over?
Well, to be honest, when I spoke to the Italian guys, they already said to me that they've got connections across Germany because they want Germany on board the same as I do. I want Germany. I spent many, many years in Germany. So I want Germany on board more than anyone, if I'm honest. So they've got a lot of connections in Germany, France, and also Switzerland because they used to be part of WABA. So they've got a lot of connections. Also, Esther, who's running the Dutch show, she's got connections into Germany as well. So I think between the three of us, I reckon certainly, I think the turning point's going to be when we actually have a GBO show in Italy of that stature. I mean, we had some in the past when I was working with Gianluca, who's unfortunately no longer with us, which is a bit sad, and one or two other shows there, but it didn't materialize into anything, unfortunately. And Gianluca actually got ill while I was out there when we had a show there a few years back, unfortunately, which he never recovered. But I think once we've done the first ISC GBO Italy show, that will open the floodgates and there'll be a lot more interest. And I think then for me, it's a key point for me then to stabilize the UK. Like I said, I've got a few things in the pipeline. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but if this plan I've got and things come off, will completely seal the UK as far as I'm concerned. I can then hand it over and focus on mainland Europe, which is where I really need to be. And I can just, it's just an excuse to go on a load of swanning holidays, isn't it, really, to be fair? You know what I mean? Go do a bit of a sightseeing tour and pop into a few gyms here and there. Everyone likes to do that, don't they? So that's the plan for myself next year, apart from coming over to you guys, obviously. This year, Miami all day long. I'm looking at flights already for that. I need to get my ass out to Miami. So, Dan, you better let Miami know I might be coming. Better lock up the daughters and shit, mate, because I'm coming on.
He's on mute too, and a delay. So there you go. I want to ask you about Eastern Europe, because I don't know if I know there's a bodybuilding presence in Russia, the Ukraine. We talk a little bit about that. Is that a possibility down the road, or is that a whole nother ballgame?
Right. So in Eastern Europe, so the likes of Poland, Romania, Hungary, even as far as Lithuania and that, there is a massive, massive, massive bodybuilding presence in there. However, it is very controlled by the supplement companies, and the supplement companies are all interlinked with the IFBB. So it's very hard to set up shows and get connections and networks out there. You really do need to have people in place, in situ in the country. And because the IFBB is quite strong out there in certain aspects of it all, and because they're linked with all supplement companies, I don't want to use the word corruption because I'm not going to say that, but it's going to be difficult for us to get in, You know, and I normally don't sit on the fence and just say what I think, but because I haven't got a foot in the doorway there, I'm going to be politically correct. So it's going to be tricky to get over there. But I think as we grow across Europe, the natural flow will take us over that way. Because obviously, get Germany on board, then all of a sudden that brings a lot of the Eastern European athletes on board because they'll come to Germany, or a lot of them live in Germany that compete. Will open it out a little bit. So I think it's just that for me, Germany is a key country to get on board. And if I can get that, which I'm confident that I will, very confident that I will, it's just a matter of when, that will open the floodgates into Eastern Europe, I think, definitely.
Well, I do have something that might be, and I won't put him on the spot, but we've talked about this for now 4 or 5 months. Dr. Farkas is from Poland. And I know that he might have even reached out to you, and he is very interested in trying. He knows people in that realm, in that country, that Hungary, Poland, and the Czech Republic. Those are areas that I know we're looking at expanding into, and it is going to be very interesting to see when that market starts to break open and comes this way, because it's not a question of if, it's a question of when.
Definitely.
The amount of countries we have on board.
Yeah, I did speak to Gabor actually about Greece as well, but obviously then with this bloody virus thing, it's kind of put the brakes on everything. I can't go traveling all around Europe to sort it out, but I think certainly beginning of next year, I'm kind of booking the first 3 months to do a lot of traveling. I want to get out there and network a bit. So I think towards the back end of this year, I'm going to continue. I'm going to rebuild the connections to the people that I've spoke to already, and get myself out there a little bit and sell myself. Yep. Get out there, get some more shows on board. You know?
We do have a West Coast presence that's watching right now, and what's interesting is they are on full lockdown, but they're starting to do boot camps outside, socially distanced. So Amy Nowak, who is a pro in San Francisco, and Lene Forcier, who is part of our network here, they're actually finding ways to do it. How are things looking right now in the UK? What's the latest?
Yeah, I mean, gyms are completely shut down. We've been given no official date when they're going to open as of yet. You are now allowed. It's ridiculous. This is so I can go visit someone from like another family. I can go visit a member of my family, or I can go and visit a friend in another household. But I'm not allowed to have sex. Well, where the hell that comes into it? But that's part of the government guidelines. Okay. Why is that even relevant? Do you know what I mean? But that's a big keep. No idea why, but that keeps getting mentioned. So I can go and see someone, but I can't jump on them. Oh, okay, great.
There it is.
But it's a weird setup. So I can meet and go to like last weekend. I went down to Bristol. Was it last weekend or the weekend before? I went down to Bristol and I met up with the grandkids. We went down a park and had a massive barbecue in the park. And it was just like a normal Saturday. We're still in lockdown, but we were allowed to get together in family groups, So there was about 12 of us all together with the grandkids and everything. And we had a fantastic time. And it felt like normality had come back, Yeah. But that is literally as far as it goes. We still don't have retail shops open. Hotels aren't open. It's pretty much just food stores at the minute. And that's about it. It's we're still quite a long way off. Even though our numbers are dropping, they're being very cautious. We do, however, have about 40,000 people rioting in London at the minute as well, because what else would you do at the weekends? So that's not helping matters, to be honest. I know you've got the same thing going out in the States as well. I think it's across all main cities in Europe as well. It's getting a little bit out of hand here a little bit, I think that's all over. But okay, is what it is. I think that's going to cause a bit of a peak in the numbers again, which could potentially knock us backwards again. But hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't. We can continue to move forward. But I'm hoping 2, maybe 4 weeks max, the gyms will be open. But we still don't know a definite date.
Well, Nico did give you the answer to what you can't figure out. And so if you saw in the comments, Nico said population control British style. And so, really it's about birth control over there, because we know what you guys like to do if you're in lockdown. And if you can't do it, you got to do something else. So we get it. We totally get it. And Lisa really liked that comment. So literally the hearts and the thumbs up lit up for you we knew this was going to be fun. And, you know, I showed Dan Olson this and I showed Chris Cruz this, but I do have it here. I knew I was going to need this. And I said a little prayer before that, you know, we don't get censored or kicked off this thing. And so far, I think we're still live. So you're doing something right, dude. Keep it up. Keep it up.
If my video made it through censorship, then we're all right with me going live, you know?
That is true. And you got some very nice comments. And, you know, if you didn't check out the preview, definitely go to Chris Proctor's page and look at the preview of tonight's show. You will find something, you know, just like you've never seen before. So,
well, actually, the video with the little Chewbacca, that's my grandson. That's Solace. That's my little man. He's my little mini me. I love his hair.
Oh, we talked about that for 20 minutes before this show and we could not stop laughing. So people go, why is your face all red? You sunburned? I'm like, no, it's because I'm cracking up because of Proctor being, you know, just Proctor. So Troy did say that you do have to get out to Las Vegas. He said the casinos are officially open today.
Really?
So that might be something. I think we still need to go scout the venue for the Vegas Global Championship.
But I think that needs to be like a GBO reunion thing there. Definitely. We need, you know,
yeah,
we all need
Troy,
to Dan, Troy. I mean, me and Dan went out in, had a wicked mental night out, me and Dan in Vegas. The night before the show of all nights as well. Cruz, I blamed LeBlanc for that. She was the one who wanted to go out. She dragged me and Olson out.
I seen her drag y'all out. Y'all were y'all were forced.
Yeah, I'm done to my head. But what a night! Got a little bit too drunk, but we had a really
and yeah, you know, I think Vegas is a great idea right now, man, because Troy's been posting some pictures of some really nice payout tickets. So I think they got those. I think they got those slots a little loose right now, trying to get everybody into Vegas.
Yeah,
he's been cashing in pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a good point. I did see $1,000 payout on a penny slot, and so I was like, "Yeah, I think we do need to plan a GBO trip out there." So I'm going to be out there in 4 weeks anyway. If anybody wants to join, I'm just saying that to everybody. Feel free and book a ticket because it's super cheap, and so are the rooms. So I'm okay to risk it. But back to you, Mr. Proctor.
Yeah.
Looking at right now where you're at, is that date solid for, you know, what you're looking at championship wise and, you know, in Italy and Pino, I know has been, you know, instrumental in doing that. What are some of his thoughts moving forward in 2021?
Well, obviously we discussed that the shows for this year, but the plan was next year that we would have like they would have a national championship. They'll have their qualifying shows. There'd be a national championship, and we would have an international show. Now they wanted to do it later in the year, and I kind of said, "Well, that's okay, but we've got the Atlas. It'd be nice if we had a bit of a gap." So originally we were looking at our international show in Italy would be around the June-July time. Now that would be an open competition to all international GBO athletes. So our aim is to not have two Atlases because there'll only ever be one Atlas. Right. Is to have a European, if you will, slightly just below European national championship, but we want the Americans to come over as well. So it will be an international show, but it's not the Atlas. You mean? Right. So that will be the plan for next year. But I have to say that Pino and Angelo as well, who's the president of the ICS, they're doing a fantastic job out there. They keep their athletes really up to date. I can't understand the word they're saying because they're all speaking in Italian, but I'll comment on it and I get some weird answers back. I've got no idea what they're saying, so I just like it, you know. But Pino's wife speaks really, really good English. In fact, her English is probably better than mine, to be fair. So I know when I send them a message, I'm going to get a clear response to it. So, but they are doing a fantastic job. They're keeping their athletes informed. They keep on top of it. And to get these two shows off the ground this year, I really got to take my hat off to them because I didn't think anywhere in Europe we would, and they've managed to do it. And for me, it's like a lifeline because now I've got something to offer the athletes. You know, okay, I can't afford to pay for them all to go out there. They're going to have to pay their own way out there. But at least there's an opportunity now for them to get on stage. I've had a look at flights to that area at the time of year. And actually, you're looking at maybe $150. You know, okay, that's in your money, so it's about £100 in our money. That's not too bad for a return flight. So there's options there for them to get out there, and hotels are always cheap and cheerful anyway. Or we can get a big Airbnb and party all night, you know. We'll do whatever. There's options there to do it. We can see how many want to come. But no, they have done a great job. And obviously next year, once this year, I'll see them out there in November anyway. I might even try and get out if I can for the show in October, and then I can sit down with them and we can get a full format for next year. Obviously, next year we'll have Holland back on board. We've already discussed we're looking at June for the Holland show next year. We were going to be November this year, but we're going to do it June. And obviously we'll have Australia as well back on board. That will probably be around the October time in Brisbane next year. But I'll speak to Nick on that one closer to the time. So it's all building up, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get a few more countries on board in the meantime as well. So yeah, but obviously still in the planning stages for next year, and I will discuss that with them, and we'll get a concrete answer by the end of this year so people can plan.
Well, I know that we have Nick Edgerton. He's in Australia. He oversees Australia. He's slated to be as a guest as well. I know the time difference is a little different than yours. We also are planning to bring on Pino's wife when it gets a little bit closer, once those are finalized, because if she does speak English, we don't have to go through a translator in order to get a live interview done, which, you know, we've tried to think of every which direction to do, or just go learn Italian and, you know, maybe we translate it in Google Translate. But we just figured somebody who speaks English is a lot easier, because I know Chris Cruz's head would explode if we tried to teach him Italian, you know, while having twins and everything else. So probably would be a little different. But it's exciting to see what's going on in the growth. And I know that, you know, Germany and France and Portugal and Spain and all those areas, you know, they're saturated in the Western part. And I think once we start picking up those athletes, you're going to have you're just going to have a whole nother world when it comes to Europe.
Absolutely. And if I'm completely honest, the way the IFBB and the Pro League are doing things, they're making it easy for me. They really are. Do you know what I mean? They're upping their prices. They're too busy bickering amongst each other. It's certainly in mainland Europe, it's really, really getting nasty. And that's what's made it so easy in Holland, if I'm absolutely honest. Because they're that busy fighting with each other, it's allowed us to do what we're doing. You know, Italy's never been that strong, really. And San Marino, yes, and a lot of Italians go to there. But I've got big hopes and big dreams for mainland Europe. I don't think it's going to be that much of a trouble. We just need to get get the Italians stabilised, get the shows in Holland, and I think then the progression will just flow naturally. It'll make my life easier. And the way they're doing things as well, certainly in the UK, makes my life even easier. It really does. You know, I'm managing to get big names come to me that are coming to me and want to work with me because of the way the IFBB are doing things in the UK. So that's brilliant for me. Makes it easier, doesn't it?
You know, and it's really interesting though too, because we're not really starting from scratch in these countries. You know, there's a base of athletes that will flow in, and there are some big names and there are some amazing quality physiques that are coming from this. So it's not like, you know, you're trying to start something from the ground up here. We've got something that's already been built, and now we have a place where, you know, it's kind of a gateway, so to speak. So very interesting that you're able to do that.
Yeah, and you know, I've started talking to supplement companies in the UK as well. I mean, obviously the sponsorship formats are a lot different in the UK than what they are in the US, you know. But for me, it's not about the money side of things. It's about having the names on board. I want supplement companies to come and give stuff to my athletes. I'm not interested in taking money off them, because they're not going to give me, because they lose money on the shows. You know, if I was actually at a funeral today from a very good friend of mine from the bodybuilding industry, Bill Bridges, from Sarah Bridges. He used to be a wrestler, actually. He used to do in the WWF in the US. He was one of the very first British guys to make it over to the US in the world of wrestling. But his wife was an ex-pro women's bodybuilder. They were very big in the old IFBB as it was before they split in the UK, and still massively involved. He passed away today, so I'll pop down to see his funeral. God let him rest in peace. And I bumped into an old friend of mine there who runs a very large supplement company in the UK. Wants to sit and chat. He said, I've been meaning to speak to you for quite a while, actually. So, you know, I'm going to hook up with him in a month or two. So there's a lot of interest waking up over here about what the GBO's doing and where we're going and what we are. And they know they can come and speak to me, and I'm not going to turn around and say, yeah, great, but I want this, I want that. They all know me better than that. That's not what it's about. It's about the athletes. You know, I want this and I want that. Yeah, but I want to give it to them, not for me. There's nothing in it for me other than having their logo on the stage, which is what I really want, because it makes it look more neater, more presentable. So yeah, good big things happening, good things, and I did all that without swearing.
I'm very shocked, and so is Cruz. He's speechless right now.
I was trying to take little tallies down here on my notepad, but I ain't got nothing. So,
well, Scott and Lisa said they want to be the official tanners of GBO Europe. Can we make that happen? I will be I can be extra hands and support too. I'm sure that there's going to be a following. We talked about the international athletes, and we've had some athletes in America win trips, and they're able to compete professionally here, and some like Tyrol, Hakeem Benjamin, they've got trips coming up, and it's going to be exciting to see if we can integrate some of the Americans in some of those shows as well. So we're really looking forward to that.
Well, one interesting point about the Italian show that I'd like to mention as well is I had a little conversation with Bob about this as well, because I wanted permission to do this before I announced it. And that's simply because it is the only show we're probably going to have available for the guys to go and compete in this year. Basically, what I've asked him to do is it okay for amateurs and pros to compete alongside each other in the same category? And I know that's normally a massive, massive no-no, and quite rightly so as well. But in this circumstance, because of the situation, Bob's given me the all clear to do that, which I think is really good of him, because I know that goes against everything that he's about and the morals of it, of the whole setup. But because it's the only show, he's allowed us to do it. So that's great for me, because now it gives me a whole wider audience of people I can go, well, come out. It doesn't matter, Don't be afraid the fact that you might be going up against pros. Come in better, be better, make a point, turn some heads and have that opportunity. So for me, that's good, because that gives me a bigger audience to people to attract to come to the Italian show. Because I want as many people there as possible, because it shows the Italians that we mean business and we're serious. Not only are they committed to us, that how committed we are to them, and that's important to me, because I want them to see that commitment. Because the more committed we are, we will only get back. That's what the Italians are like. You give, you will get tenfold back. That's what they're like. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's going to be a good thing. And obviously, if any American guys want to come over, just drop me a message. I know it's a European championship, but I know for a fact if I go to Pino and Angelo and say, I got Americans want to come over, they won't matter. I'm pretty sure they will not have a problem with that. So it'd be great to have some of you guys come over as well.
Well, we just had Chad Gidraz. He's a pro classic bodybuilder guy, and I know that a lot of these guys who have been tuning in consistently and seeing what you just said, I'm pretty sure you're going to have some interest, and it's probably good. You're going to have some takers if all green light, things are a go. I think we might have some American presence there if they're up for it.
That would be awesome. That would be great, because that would really show some, how serious we are as a GBO federation to work with the ICS. They know it, they know they are, but it's nice to see it, So that really would be great if we could get that. That would pretty much seal the deal. So that's brilliant. So great stuff. Yeah, inbox me, guys. Drop me a message. If I don't get back to you straight away, don't worry. Probably
that was that was one of Bob's biggest visions when he started all this, was competing internationally. Everybody continent to continent, So that's cool, man. Y'all are doing an amazing job over there. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, thank you, man. And I know for a fact that 2021, the Atlas is going to be full of, mate. We're going to have a European. The user all are going to think there's an immigrant bus rocked up. There's going to be seriously, there's going to be a bundle of Italians, because Italians are itching to come and compete in America. Awesome. Absolutely itching, and there's no avenue for them. But now they have that avenue. So there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of Dutch, and any other continent. The UK team are always going to be strong. So I was looking forward to it this year. I thought this year we might have a good presence, but obviously with it not happening. But next year now, the presence is going to be massive, absolutely massive. I'm going to have to charter a plane to get everyone over there, So it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. And likewise, what I'm trying to get them to do is I'm trying to make the regional qualifiers in the US, like Dan's show in Florida and all that, and that region, they're easy places for the guys to get to. It's not going to cost them a shitload of money to do it. So I'm trying to sort of get that and make that attractable and say to them guys, look, you can go, you paid your membership, go to America, compete as an amateur or as a pro. You can do that. Do you know what I mean? And Dan's shows are a good example of that, because the flights to Florida and to Miami are very regular. The more regular, the cheaper they become. So it doesn't have to be an expensive weekend, a long weekend away. There are ways of doing it. And what I want to start doing is I want to start putting packages together to show these people. So look at hotels, look at flights, put packages, say, look, you know, for 600 quid or 600 pounds, you're there. You know, that all of a sudden you're there for 4 days. That's an attractable item. So I need to start looking at that for next year. Once we've got all the dates in place, and I can start putting packages together and connect people up with these travel agents, and let's get it sorted. Because I want the guys in Europe to go to America off their own backs as well, all through the year. There's so many shows you guys have got. I want to flood them with Europeans, and you know, I know you guys won't turn that away. You'd love the opportunity, and likewise for the Americans to come over here as well. That'd be great, you know.
Yep. You do have a 2018 Mr. Atlas Classic Bodybuilding champ, Timmy Pratt, wanting to come over too. So, you know, as we integrate these things, it's going to be, I think what you said, Cruz, was originally what Bob envisioned. And it's really interesting to talk about it, but it's even better when it happens.
Yeah.
And it looks like we're just getting closer and closer to those things happening. So, you know, as we go through, I know Dan's excited because that directly, you know, impacts his show in a very positive way. And, you know, as we're looking to grow the US and as the European market grows, as we integrate these things, it's only going to fuel the fire and, you know, really, really take things to the next level. So super excited for that.
My light's gone off. Hold on.
Oh, I just thought you didn't want to talk to us anymore. I'm like, dude, did I say something? Does Chris melt? No, it doesn't have that. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool.
Movement sensors because I've not moved for so long, you know.
Don't you have a clap on, clap off or something over there?
They probably do actually, yeah, but I don't. In England, we don't have the clap. You know what I mean? We keep it on our pants.
We had to end with something lighthearted, but you know, Chris, thank you for the update. And you know, obviously we always appreciate having you on and your support, as I know that we talk fairly consistently during the weeks, and it's really good to be able to hear that you were able to have something materialize and put something together for these guys. It was very interesting to watch when you popped on. Literally, I saw 7 athletes from the UK. They wanted to know, you know, and they wanted a little bit more information, and that's what you gave to them. And they're super thrilled, you know, that you were able to put that together and do that. So
yeah, no, that's good. Cool. I mean, we got a really good bunch over here. I've had a few people contact me about becoming judges as well in the UK, which is nice to see. So I need to give Todd a shout for that. Actually, get some stuff until I've set up. I say I've got a big name in the UK, and I'm not going to say the name just yet, but I'm in talks with him. And if he does come on board, that is a huge scalp. I mean, having Ernie Taylor's a huge scalp with this guy as well, man. But he will help me with the judging side of things and really put a format together. And I've even spoke to him about putting a show on, and he seems pretty keen on that as well. So there's some, I got some big things coming. I'm looking forward to announcing. You know?
Very good. Awesome. Very good. And I know that you will be making plans to come over here soon. And I just want to finish with the updates. We have the Max Muscle Classic now 9 weeks out. We have the Miami Classic 10 weeks out. And so as we look into September, I know Scott and Lisa Ramsey just got back from their trip from South Padre Island on finishing their safety meetings. They met with the venue. They're 100% ready to go. In their mind, it's like they can see everything that's going on and happening. So they've made accommodations to make sure. I know the vendor booths are selling out because they had to cut a couple of vendor booths that were available, and now they're not. So for those of you who are waiting until the last minute, it's probably a good idea that you get on board now, as that'll be September. Cruz, help me out. Is the Legacy SPI first, correct?
SPI the 19th, and then the Legacy is the 26th. Yes.
Yes. So I do want to talk just a second about the Legacy, because the Legacy Todd Rogers did send out, and most of you probably saw it. If you have not, they will be capping athletes at 80, and they will be capping the attendance. So it's important that, number one, you buy your tickets in advance, and number two, that you register in advance. As soon as they hit that number, they will not be taking any more registrations. So you can go to Legacy Classic, or you can go to globalbodybuildingorganization.com to get the link to register for their event. When it comes to October, I know that Cruz, is your registration open?
Yes, registration is open. Before I want to go back to Legacy right quick and touch on what you said as far as capping it. GBO pros, that includes y'all also. That's not just amateurs. So pros, you know, if you're committing to that show, you need to go ahead and commit now, because Todd is he's done set how many he's going to have, and he's going to stick to it. So let's make sure we get our commitments in for that show also. I'm sorry, what were you asking? The Sulphur, yes. Louisiana State Championships, yes, we are a go for that. We do still have the social distancing as far as the crowd is concerned, and we're pretty confident that by the time October rolls around, that's probably going to let up a little bit even more. I have confirmed that our on stage, judging and all that is not going to be affected by the social distancing. So we're very excited about that because they've been having the West Cal has a big rodeo arena on the back of it, and they've been having rodeo competitions there almost every weekend, and they have not had any lashback about that or any issues with that. So we're definitely pushing forward with that show and very excited about that. Registration is live. Either tonight or tomorrow, I will make a post on GBO Louisiana about the registration link and all that. Right now, we're not limiting anything because the venue is big enough to hold right now the limitation is going to be 1,000 people. So we're feeling pretty good about that as far as not limiting athletes and all that. So, but I did have 6 people literally sign up this week. So let's start getting registered for that one also.
For Brandy's show, registration is open as well. And is that also on FitSquid?
Yes, that is also on FitSquid. Also, I will be making a post about that one. Now that venue, we may need to look into it a little bit more because it is smaller, like Todd's is. So that's one we're probably going to have to cap also. So we just got to kind of sit down and look at that and see how we're going to do that. But it's probably a similar situation as Todd's in because it's a small theater. So we need to look at that also.
Good. I just do want to mention about my show. We are capping. I haven't made an official announcement yet, but I have been talking about it throughout the year. We are going to be capping the amateurs at 150 athletes. We will be cutting that off as soon as we hit that number. We've been having people every day register, which is a really positive thing. And people ask me where we're at. Well, it changes every day. So as I know that we fill up, that's going to be exciting. But we also have to make sure and manage and plan it accordingly. So for pros, we're going to be capping all 4 pro classes total of 100 pros. So that's, we'll probably have more female and men's beach body than we will figure and classic men's bodybuilding. But if we have 30 pro female beach body and 30 pro classic, 30 men's pro beach body, that leaves us 40 athletes left for figure and pro classic bodybuilding. So I think we're going to be good as of right now, but we also are going to be capping off ticket sales as well, very similar to the Legacy, because we can only hold 1,000 people in that venue. And we want to make sure that we're able to be fair by a first come, first served basis for all shows that will be capped. And it's really tough to make an exception unless somebody was able to drop for some reason or had to drop for personal reasons. We might be able to have a standby list that we could fill in, but we also want to be fair to preps. Meaning if someone is prepping 100% committed for a show, it's very important that you plan ahead in this because this is a much different situation than every other year. And if you're prepping, commit early. So that way you're in and there's no question about it. So we want to be fair to you because you are putting in the hard work and obviously making sure that you're doing everything you can on your end. We also want to do everything on our end as well. So last word, Chris Cruz.
Man, listening to Proctor, man, and Dan and all that, this year we knew we were on the verge of exploding. And of course we ran into the coronavirus and all that, but I know, and you can feel it, and with everything letting up, I feel it even more that we're going to end this year great, but 2021, dude, man, it's going to be on fire. It really is. So to those out there on the fence, you better jump on board because this thing's kind of taking off, and there's just so much stuff that we have coming down the pipe it's just going to blow up. I mean, internationally, dude, it's just going to be crazy. And that's so, and once it takes off, it's going. My other thought, we were talking about all the countries coming to the Atlas and all that. We may want to look into getting some hiring some people and start filming like MTV Real World thing and having them in these Airbnb places with them, we probably get some pretty good footage like that.
I think Matt Thomas already does that.
Really, GBO Real World, man. Yeah. So I think that's just an idea. Just saying.
Good.
So, but now, yeah, very excited about finishing this year out with our shows, man. Here in the States, the announcement of Italy is amazing. That they're able to get that, put that together, and man, I'm already ready for 2021 because here in Texas and Louisiana, we got some big announcements coming up soon. So I just can't wait. I'm excited.
Well, guys, thank you, Chris Proctor. Thank you, Dan Olson, for being our guest today. And we appreciate your input and everything that you're obviously doing. So, guys, as far as next week, same time, same place, the 5:30 p.m. never changes. Neither does the Facebook Live. So if you tuned in now, you'll know how to tune in next week. And we will be bringing you some fresh content material that I think you're going to really get a lot of value in. And we'll be announcing those guests midweek again, as usual. So until then, we look forward to talking to you and have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week.